Welcome to Math Lesson 105, my wonderful sixth graders. Let's look at this one. It's on page 548. It is using proportions to solve percent problems. So once again, who returns but our fabulous ratio box? And I have one set up for us to use where we have percent this time, actual count, and our total line at the bottom, okay? Here's our new concept. We know that a percent can be expressed as a fraction with a denominator of a 100, and they show us 30% is equal to 30 over 100. A percent can also be regarded as a ratio. Here's our ratio column, right? In which 100 represents the total number in the group. And they're going to show us a few examples. Here's example 1. 30% of the cars in the parade are antique cars. If 12 vehicles are antique cars, how many vehicles are in the parade in all? Okay, so first we'll construct our ratio box, right? We've got our percent, our actual count, and our total line. We will also add labels to our rows. We have antique cars, and then others, right? Not antique. Okay. They give us a count. They tell us that 12 cars are actually antique cars. So there's our actual count. They tell us that 30% are antique cars. Okay, so what we're looking for then is going to be how many vehicles are in the parade in all. So we want to know our total. Okay, so we know here that our percent column has to equal 100. So we have 30% plus what would be equal to 100%? 70%, right? Because 30 plus 70 equals 100. Okay, however, do we really need to know that part? No, not really. All we need are two rows, one that's full, and then the other one that we need to find the number for, right? So we're looking for total in all. Now we can set up a ratio problem. So we can say 30 is to 100, 30% is to 100% as 12 is to t. So we have this row right here and this row on the bottom of our equation. Okay, we can reduce before we start, right? Let's reduce first. We can get rid of percents. Those cancel out. We can reduce these by 10, right? So 30 divided by 10 is 3. 10 divided by 10 is 10. Oh, 100 divided by 10 is 10. Woo! This is Aguilar. Can we reduce? Let's see. Let's keep going. Let's set up our problem. So we have 3t is equal to 12 times 10. Okay. And we know 12 times 10 is going to be 120, right? Let's go ahead and solve that first. So to solve for t, we're multiplying 3 times t. We need to do the inverse with our 3 to get it gone, right? We'll divide by 3 on each side of our equality, okay? So t is equal to 120 divided by 3. What is 120 divided by 3? It is, it's 12, bring down a 0, it's 40. Perfect. So we've solved t is equal to 40. And we can fill in our box. Our total number of cars in the parade, actual count, is 40. perfect. Let's see, we have example 2 now. I'm going to keep my ratio box, but I'm going to erase anything that might change, like our information that we're filling in. Okay. So example 2, only 40% of the team members played in the game. If 24 team members did not play, then how many did play? Once again, ratio box, right? So we need to label our columns with played, didn't play. I'll just say did not. So we know that 40% of the team members played in the game. So we can fill in our 40%. Did play, played. 24 team members did not play. So that's our actual count. We can fill that in did not play, actual count. The information we're looking for is how many members did play. So we are looking for how many actual count did play. Okay. In order to set up an equality, we need to have 2 categories that are absolutely filled out, right? We don't have anything so far, but what could we really easily fill out in our chart in order to set up an equality or a ratio? Right, we could fill in the percent because we know that 40 plus whatever is going to equal 100. So 40 plus what equals 100? That's right, 60%. Now we can set up an equality and solve for the number that played, okay? So we can say 40% is to 60% as T is to 24. Okay, what can we reduce? Well, we can get rid of the percent signs. We can divide, we could divide 40 and 60 by 20, right? So 20 goes into 40 2 times. 20 goes into 60 3 times. So now let me clean this up. We have 2 is to 3 as T is to 24. So let's go ahead and set up our equality problem. 2 times 24, cross multiplying, right? 2 times 24 is equal to 3T. Okay, so 2 times 24 is what? Can we solve that really quick? 48. Now what do we need to do to get T on the side of the equal sign by itself? Well, since we're multiplying T times something, we need to divide by that thing, which is 3. And remember, we divide each side by 3, not just the one side, but both. So now we have 48 divided by 3 is equal to T. So what is 48 divided by 3? Finish my problem. It's 16. So we have 16 is equal to T. I can fill in my ratio box with the actual count that played, which is 16. Okay, flip the page. Let's see if I got it right. I did, yes. Okay, so here we go with example 3. I'll erase everything that I filled in here. We'll use our same ratio box. I'm trying to erase so thoroughly like Professor Kraut. I'm not as good at him as erasing though. There we go. All right. Example 3. Buying the shoes on sale, Nathan paid $45.60. $45.60, which was 60% of the full price. What was the full price of the shoes? Okay, so first we have to label our rows, right? We could say how much he paid plus how much he saved would equal the total or full price of the shoes, okay? Let's see. We know that he paid 60% of the full price. So he paid 60%. What else do we know from the problem? We know how much he paid. It was $45.60. That was the actual paid. What are we looking for? We're looking for the full price of the shoes. Okay, so what would this be, this total full price on the bottom? Well, do we need any information in our saved column? No, we don't, because we're solving for F, right? Which is the total full price, the actual full price. We have paid already. We just need to find this. So we're ready to set up an equality or a proportion, right? 60% is to 100% as $45.60 is to F, the full price. Can we reduce anything? Well, yes, we can, right? We can get rid of our percent signs. We can also divide 60 by 20 and 100 by 20. Let's do that. So 60 divided by 20 is 3. 100 divided by 20 is 5. Okay, so let's carry our problem down. 3 is to 5 as 45.60 is to F. Are we ready to cross multiply? Yeah, let's do it. Let's set up our equality. So we're going to multiply 3F, 3 times F is equal to 5 times 45.60. Okay. Let's go ahead and multiply 45.60 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 3 is 28. Carry your 2. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2, 22. Okay. So we have and it's dollars, right? We have 3F is equal to $228. So to get F on one side of the equal sign by itself, what do we need to do? We need to divide instead of multiply by 3 on each side. So now we have F is equal to 228 divided by 3. Let's do the math. I'm way down here at the bottom of my board. 3 goes into 22 7 times. It's 21. 3 goes into 18 6 times, which gives us 18. So our answer, F, is equal to $76. We can fill in our chart now. Whoops, whoa, yep, that was correct. With $76, our ratio box. Okay, let's see, what do we have on our practice set? We've got solve these percent problems using proportions. Make a ratio box for each problem. Okay, let's try A and B together. maybe even C. Let me erase all of my work. Oh no, I didn't mean to erase that. I want you to try these as well on a scratch sheet of paper. Make sure that you pause me before I get ahead of you, okay? And then check your answers. I'm gonna switch out colors. I'm gonna go light blue, just for fun. So over here, we know this will be total. I erased it on accident. Oops. All right, let's look at problem A in the practice set. 40% of the cameras in the store are digital cameras. If 24 cameras are not digital, how many cameras are in the store in all? So let's label our chart first. We have digital cameras and we have not digital cameras. So I'm going to call it digital and not. Okay? We know that 40% of the cameras in the store are digital cameras. So we can fill in our percent column. Digital, 40%. I think this book is dating itself, right? A lot more would be digital these days. And it tells us if 24 cameras are not digital, it gives us an actual count of the not digital as 24. And then it says how many cameras are in the store in all. Okay, so we want to know total actual count. First, we need to have 2 rows that are completely filled out that we can compare, right? So what could we do here? Well, we can pretty easily fill in our not percentage because 40 plus what equals 100%? 60. Now we can set up a ratio problem. We'll have 60 is to 100 as 24 is to T. Once again, we can cancel our percents. We can divide, right, to reduce this as far as we can reduce it by 20, right? So 60 divided by 20 is 3. 100 divided by 20 is 5. Once again, we're left with that 3/5 is equal to 24 over T. We'll cross multiply to set up our equation. All right, we've got 3T, 3 times T is equal to 5 times 24. Let's leave it the way it is, okay? And let's keep going with our problem. 3 times T, how do we get T on a side of the equal sign by itself? Since we're multiplying, instead we'll do the opposite, we'll divide by 3 on each side. Can we reduce this now? Yes, we can. 3 goes into 24. How many times? 8. So we're left with T is equal to 5 times 8 over 1. So 5 times 8 is 40. And we can fill in our ratio box. Our T is equal to 40. So our total number of cameras in the store is 40. Okay. Did you get it right? Yeah, I hope so. If not, rewind and see what you messed up on, okay? Rewind. Ha ha ha. Oh, digital, not digital. Rewind. Here we go. Okay, guys, let's look at B. 70% of the team members played in the game. If 21 team members played, how many team members did not play? Okay, so once again, we're looking for played, didn't play, total. I'll say played, didn't, and there's our total. Let's fill in the information they give us in the problem. 70% played. I can fill in my percent. If 21 team members played, so 21 was the actual count of those who played. And we are looking for how many team members did not play. So we're looking for the actual count of didn't. I'll call it X this time. Okay, what information do we need to fill in our chart in order to set up an equation or a ratio? We have played, that is filled in completely. We're looking for this column, so we need to fill in this information. So that's easy, right? We know that 70 plus something is equal to 100. What is that something? 30%. Now we're ready to solve our ratio. So 70 is to 30. As 21 is to X. Let's reduce everything that we can reduce. We can get rid of our percent signs. We can divide here by 10, right? So we'll have 7/3 is equal to 21 over X. Let's go ahead and set up our equation. Let's cross multiply. So we have 7X. I'm going to move over here. 7X is equal to 3 times 21. Let's leave it the way it is. I think we can reduce this in a minute. So when we are multiplying 7 times our X and we're solving for X, we do what in order to find X? We divide each side by 7. Okay, so can we reduce anything here before we move on? Does 7 go into any of these numbers that we're multiplying evenly? Yes, it does. 7 goes into 21 evenly 3 times. So that leaves us, once we clean up our problem, with X is equal to 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 is 9. Yay, we've solved for X. Let's look at C. It tells us, referring to problem B, what proportion would we use to find the number of members on the team? Okay, so let's pretend like we don't have common sense and we can't add, right, to get this actual number. Let's set up a proportion to find the total members on the team. Okay? Let's go back in time before we had this answer. Now we're looking for the total number of members on the team. What proportion would we set up? We just need to set up a proportion. We don't need to solve. We've got this column, and we're looking for a number in this column. So we're going to use these two columns, or rows, to solve. So we've got 70% is to 100% as 21 is to X. We're not going to go any further because we already solved, right? We know this is 9. We know our answer should be 30, right? Okay. Guys, let me know if you have any questions. You can text me anytime. You can send me emails. You can call me. You can FaceTime me, okay? I want you to work on lesson 105, and this will be due on Friday. All right? So good luck.